Our people called him Ngwena or Ingwenya, which means the chewing crocodile. One reason why Roland was so bitterly hated was because not far from the Victoria Falls there is a small town called Wangi. That town was once a very, very sacred place to the Makaranga peoples. Wangi stands in what was once a huge forest, which was once sacred to the great Earth Mother in ancient times. Tiny Roland's name so heavily polluted that place in their mining operations that today it is a ravaged ghost of its former self.
Isn't it the case, Credo, that these various names like Oppenheimer, like Rhodes, like Roland, are actually puppets of a force we call the Illuminati? And is it your view, from your experience, that the Illuminati and the Chitahuli, the reptilians, are actually the same thing, and that actually through various forms it is the reptilian force that has been behind this whole story you've been articulating?
I think so, sir. In fact, I'm positive, sir. But what I cannot understand is why do rational, highly educated human beings allow themselves to become the instrument of the destruction of the only home that we have, we human beings, namely the earth upon which we live. Please, sir, are you going to tell me that men like Mr. Oppenheimer and all those who work under him don't have what are called environment impact studies, which give them a long-term view of what the ultimate results of their massive mining operations will be?
Of course, they will have that done, but as we've discussed in another video, maybe destroying the environment is part of the agenda in terms of changing the planet from one which suits humans to one which suits the people that have been controlling you.
Yes, sir. But this seems to be a terrible war that we see in front of us. A war which is taking place relentlessly, cold-bloodedly, and whose effects upon all our lives and upon the planet are becoming more evident as we go into the millennium.
When you follow these bloodlines, which have become the Illuminati, the reptilian bloodlines, through history to the present day, you can see very clearly that human sacrifice, blood rituals and so on have followed them all the way. I mean, the bloodlines, for some reason, are seriously into this stuff. Has that been your experience in terms of the secret societies and the reptilian bloodlines that you've experienced?
Other than necrophagy, where a human corpse or part of a human corpse is eaten, I have never seen an actual human sacrifice. But I have taken part in rituals where part of a dead body is consumed. A dead body dug up from a grave. I must admit that. But in England and in America, I saw Freemasons indulging in some of their deepest rituals. And in both cases, the people concerned were not aware of the fact that they were being observed. At one time in Johannesburg, I viewed a Freemason ritual through a pair of binoculars. They were performing this ritual in a brightly lit room, and we watched nearly every detail of what they were doing. In England, I saw again the same thing close up. And again, the people concerned were not aware of my presence, or the presence of the friend who had brought me to see what was happening. You know, sir, before I go deep in answering your question, can I ask you, sir, are you a religious man?
No.
Good. Then another question, sir. Please. It is African courtesy that I should ask questions just as you ask me questions. Please, sir, exactly why do human beings or the Chitauli perform human sacrifice? What is the reason behind this ghastly practice?
Well, first of all, from people I've spoken to who've taken part in these rituals, they tell me there's something in the blood which they want to consume because for some reason they need it, and it appears they want blonde-haired, blue-eyed people for that more than any other. And the other thing, I guess, is that if you can perform a very malevolent, terrifying ritual in a particular vortex point, then you're going to affect the energy field very powerfully. And another reason which we've talked about is that at the point of sacrifice, this evil eye, this hypnotic stare which these Chitahuli crossbreeds and the Chitahuli themselves seem to have, can suck the person's energy consciousness out of their body.
Yes, sir. But are you aware, Mr. David Icke, that people performing human sacrifice perform it for very, very serious and in a strange way, diabolically logical reasons, and very, very selfish ones?
Go ahead.
Say, there is something about human sacrifice which I beg to reveal to you. I am an initiate of over 7 great initiations, and I have learned many things which would shock a saint. And one of these is this: the basic reason behind human sacrifice is immortality, or rather longevity. When a great person feels that he or she is about to die, that great person does this. He or she orders the kidnapping of a particularly beautiful young person, usually a woman, a young girl, a virgin. But this virgin must have certain spiritual characteristics. And these characteristics must be certain qualities of the mind. In short, the victim must be psychic. The victim must be very beautiful.